It is very important to get mortgage advice that you can count on. Hi, my name is Randy Flood, and I'm the only certified mortgage coach in the state of Colorado. I've been originating FHA mortgages, it seems like forever, and I get a lot of questions from consumers on, can they get an FHA mortgage? How can I get an FHA mortgage after my bankruptcy? And I even get a lot of these same questions from other loan officers. So today I want to address applying for an FHA mortgage after bankruptcy. If you have a bankruptcy, don't feel bad because you're not alone. Before these hard economic times, there was a stigma with people that have filed bankruptcy, and people felt bad about themselves. But nowadays, with this hard economic times where a lot of people are being laid off, unexpected medical expenses, divorce, there's a lot of reasons that people are filing bankruptcies, justified reasons. So it's almost to be expected in this environment of today for people to file bankruptcy. So don't feel bad. In order to get your FHA mortgage, proper planning is really the key, and it's going to take some work, and I'll show you the steps in order to help get you there. Here are the timelines for bankruptcy. Now, in the mortgage industry, we use what's called an automated underwriting system, and we get two results: approval/eligible or accept, or refer or manual underwrite. And typically what will happen with a Chapter 7, and that is where all your debt is forgiven, the bankruptcy has to be discharged for at least 2 years. A Chapter 13, which is less common than a Chapter 7, where you work out a payment plan, also that bankruptcy has to be discharged for 2 years. But typically what will happen is we will not get an approval or eligible, but we're going to actually get a refer or manual underwrite. And for a Chapter 7, what I see most of the time, the discharge or the bank Chapter 7 has to be discharged for at least 3 years, and this is the most common. Now with the Chapter 13, it can be discharged for 1 year, successful participation in the repayment plan, and you also have to get permission from the bankruptcy court before you even apply for a mortgage. Since a lot of people that have filed bankruptcy also has a foreclosure or did a short sale, just want to let you know that underwriters, the lenders, and credit bureaus view foreclosure and short sale as the same. Now, if we can get an online approval, you got to have at least 3 years since the foreclosure or the short sale. However, as I mentioned before, usually it requires a manual underwrite, and typically what I see is the foreclosure or short sale has to be discharged for 5 years. Here are the credit considerations. Although FHA has very low qualification standards, lenders have what's called overlays. And what I mean by this is they have stricter underwriting guidelines. And they do this for two reasons. First, they want to limit their risk. And secondly is they don't want to buy back the loans. And with FHA, their required credit score is 580. However, most lenders require a middle credit score of 640 or higher. There are a few out there that will still do it at 620. Now, with these lower credit scores, you're going to get penalized a little bit on the interest rate, but that's not all that bad because with FHA mortgages, the interest rates are a lot better than the conventional, so you're not really going to lose out there. You'll need to reestablish your credit, have 2 or 3 trade lines to include a loan installment loan, and what is extremely important is to have your credit, keep it clean. You don't want any 30 or 60 or 90-day lates on your credit reports. And definitely you don't want to have any major derogatories such as judgment or collections. And if you do, we got to have a letter of explanation. Also, court-ordered judgments got to be paid off. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, collections vary by lender. And if they're medically related, most lenders disregard it because they consider that a fact of life. It's going to happen. However, if it's consumer collections such as cable, telephone bills, what will happen is some of the lenders will actually allow $2,000 to $3,000 of unpaid collections and still be able to get your FHA mortgage. Other credit considerations, one is it's never good to owe Uncle Sam anything. So if you've defaulted on a student loan or you're past due or you know or not paying your federal taxes, these are the things I see most of the time. You know, those got to be paid off, as well as any lien that's been placed on a previous property, such as from homeowners association or any remodeling work that may have been done. Now, the lender's going to verify your housing payment, that you've made your rent checks or your rent payments on time, and they'll do that with canceled checks, or they will actually call your landlord to make sure that you have paid on time. Usually a maximum debt to income ratio of 45%. What does this mean? This means whatever your liabilities are, they cannot be more than 45% of your gross income. And this is still very liberal. And I recommend don't have people pull your credit. Don't take out credit cards or anything else right when you're applying for a loan, because otherwise we got to state what the purpose and the outcome is. What most people don't realize is that there are compensating factors that will help you to get your FHA mortgage approved. First of all, if you're a W-2 employee, your salary or wage earner, that is better than being self-employed or commission only. FHA requires a minimum of 2 years work history in the same profession. However, if you have a long continuous job history, especially with the same employer for 5, 10, 15 years, that will strengthen your case. The more money that you have in checking, savings, your retirement accounts, the better, because that's going to show that you can actually make your payments and also have money for a down payment. And naturally, if you have higher credit scores, that will improve your chances. One thing that a lot of people overlook is FHA requires 3.5% down. However, if they put a larger down payment down, that will improve their chances of getting the FHA mortgage. And you can do this with a gift from a relative, or you can actually borrow from your 401k. And these are excellent sources for doing this. Here are the recommendations. Make the commitment now to own now, not later. Start building your credit. Don't take on additional debt, especially large car payments. It amazes me. I see people with car payments $400, $500, $600 a month. That's almost like a mortgage payment. You don't need to have that expensive car and all that debt. Start savings now. Start building up the reserves. And what is extremely important, choose wisely on your mortgage broker, because, as I mentioned, most mortgage brokers and lenders have very little experience when it comes to FHA, and it's crucial for them to know how the system works so they can best represent you. I know I've covered a lot, and so you may feel like this, a little lost and confused, but that's all right. I'll help you throughout the entire process. I also want to take the opportunity to say now is a great time to buy. It's a fantastic time to buy because property values are so low. Interest rates are at all-time lows. Sellers are giving major seller concessions, helping pay for your closing costs. And it's a lot better to own because as long as you're renting, you're throwing money down the drain. So I recommend get your FHA mortgage now and start building wealth. And my name again is Randy Flood. I will properly advise you. You can call me 24/7. And although I can only originate in Colorado, if you're living elsewhere, I know other top producers that I'll be able to refer you to and take care of yourself. So if you have any questions, give me a call or email me at randy@yesyoucangetalone.com. It is important to get the mortgage advice that you can count on, and I hope you found this information to be valuable. If so, click the like button below and also share it with your family, friends, and coworkers because they too could benefit from this valuable information. And as always, only wanting the best for you. Take care.